I want to add my voice to the statement on the emergence of criminal gangs. Mr. Speaker, truth be told, this is not an isolated case in Kisumu County or in Nairobi or Mombasa. It has become a nationwide catastrophe. Mr. Speaker, we have criminals who have developed very, very high levels of confidence and levels of impunity never witnessed in this country. I want, Mr. Speaker, to draw the attention of this House to a meeting that we had this morning with the Inspector General of Police, where we were discussing matters to do with collaboration between the Senate and his office, especially in respect to enforcing the appearance of governors before Senate committees. At that meeting, Mr. Speaker, I drew the attention of the IG to a very sad state of affairs in Kitui County, where, Mr. Speaker, there is an ongoing conflict between a criminal enterprise, a cartel of selfish, greedy individuals masquerading as business people who are trading in our sand from our rivers by force. Between them and the community that is saying that this sand is our resource and it must be exploited for the benefit of the entire community now and into the future. So, Mr. Speaker, the day before yesterday, that criminal enterprise ferried gangs armed with pangas and rungus and descended on a community along Mwanya River in Mwingi Central constituency, seriously harassed people, beat up people, killed one man, seriously injured 5 of them, raped women, and just disappeared into thin air. Mr. Speaker, my appeal, and for now we can just appeal, maybe going forward the time for appeal may just elapse, I don't know. My appeal, Mr. Speaker, is that the Inspector General of Police will take his commitment to the Senate this morning very, very seriously. That there is nobody in this country who is above the law. That everybody, including himself, myself, and everybody in this country, is a subject of the law. That, Mr. Speaker, action shall not just be taken, but action shall be seen to have been taken to bring the culprits to book and ensure justice for the victims of that attack. Mr. Speaker, this matter began a few weeks ago through the hard work of the Senate Public Accounts Committee when we unearthed misreporting on the revenues that the Kitui County government was receiving from sand as a revenue stream. Because they were reporting that they were collecting cess of 11 million the entire year. But we were able to prove to them that from sand alone, the cartels are collecting more than 2 million shillings every day. And so, Mr. Speaker, because that man that died died fighting for the resources of the people of Kitui, I want to challenge the county government of Kitui on the floor of the House to make sure that two things happen. One, that the burden of burying Mwendwa cannot be a burden of the family. Mwendwa was not fighting for his own resources. He was not fighting for property belonging to himself. He was fighting to safeguard the resources belonging to the people of Kitui. And the county government of Kitui should take full responsibility to make sure that Mwendwa is given a decent burial. Those that have been injured and our mothers that were raped, Mr. Speaker, I want to ask that the law takes full course and full effect. In fact, I want to challenge my colleagues in Kewosa to go down there and have a conversation with those bleeding mothers, because the ordeal that they went through in the hands of criminal gangs, the Speaker, that must prick the conscience of every leader in this country, in this Senate. Mr. Speaker, I submit.
Senator Kenya. Now, honorable senators, if you get an opportunity to speak, do so for not more than 3 minutes.
Asante Bwana Spika kunipa fursa hii. Na simama kuunga mkono taarifa iliyoletwa na Senator wa Kisumu Profesa Ojenda kuhusu haya magenge ya majambazi. Bwana Spika, haya magenge ya majambazi kwa muda mchache yameonekana kuongezeka, Bwana Spika. Na ikumbukwe hivi juzi tu, nakumbuka kulipokuwa na maandamano ya vijana hapa Nairobi, tuliwaona haya magenge yakiwa yamebeba silaha yakitembea hapa mjini wakisema ya kwamba wao wamekuja kulinda amani. Bwana Spika, ikiwa haya magenge ya majambazi, Bwana Spika, na vikundi haramu vimeendelea kuongezeka, ilhali tuna maafisa wa usalama na tuna asasi nyingi ambazo Wakenya wamejitolea ushuru kuweza kuwa na hawa maafisa wa usalama, Bwana Spika. Kwa hivyo mimi ningependa kumuuliza Inspector General wa polisi avalie njuga jambo hili, kwa sababu Wakenya wanaendelea kusononeka, kuishi kwa maisha ya uoga, kwa sababu hivi vikundi, ukitembea katika sehemu za Laikipia, uende katika vijiji, unapata hivi vikundi kila Ijumaa wanatembelea manyumba na kusema ya kwamba wanataka kupewa kiasi fulani cha hela ili kulinda usalama. Ilhali sisi kama Wakenya, Bwana Spika, tuko na maafisa wa usalama wa kutosha ambao wanapaswa kutulinda. Na ni jukumu ya serikali, Bwana Spika, kulinda mali na maisha ya wananchi. Kwa hivyo tunamuuliza Inspector General aliangalie jambo hili, na kamati yetu, kamati ya usalama ambayo namuona mwenyekiti yuko hapa siku ya leo, jambo hili waliangazie kwa undani, Bwana Spika. Kwetu Laikipia kuna hili genge la majambazi ama kikundi haramu kinajulikana wazi, Bwana Spika, na kuhangaisha watu, si kwa vijiji, masokoni, kwa mabasi, kila mahali, Bwana Spika. Na wakati tunapohangaishwa namna hii na hivi vikundi haramu, tuna serikali na tuna yule ambaye anahusika. Na si Inspector General peke yake, Bwana Spika, tuna waziri wa usalama ambaye alikuwa ni mwenzetu hapa. Hata yeye anapaswa aliangalie jambo hili, Bwana Spika, kwa sababu tukilichukulia kwa mzaha, sisi hili jambo linaweza kutuharibia nchi, Bwana Spika. Kwa sababu kuna kisingizio, watu wanasema ni ya kwamba pengine hawana kazi, wanalipwa pesa fulani, ilhari, Bwana Spika, tumelipa hela za kutosha kwa maafisa.
Senator Lekina.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I've listened to my colleagues comment on this issue of gangs as I rise to support this statement by the distinguished Senator, Senator for Kisumu. Mr. Speaker, what I've not heard is how do we tackle this problem? I've heard my colleagues pointing a finger at the police, saying the police are the ones who are failing in their jobs. The police should deal with this matter. The distinguished senator who just spoke last said that we have one of our own who is now in charge of the security docket, that he should be dealing with this thing. My concern, Mr. Speaker, is that we are missing the point. The best way to deal with the issue of gangs is for us to be able to study what is the root cause of these gangs. Mr. Speaker, from top of my head, I can think of two issues. One, which is very big, is unemployment. Number two is that unless we deal with the issue of rural and urban migration, there is no day that will stop having problems in Kisumu, in Nairobi, in Mombasa, in big cities, Mr. Speaker. So the first thing we must do as a senator of this republic is to be able to work with our county governments, and for our county governments to now re-engineer their CIDPs to be able to incorporate projects that can be able to provide employment to the youth. In this country, Mr. Speaker, NYS has produced best technicians, best engineers, best boiler operators. Why can't we think of a way, Mr. Speaker, that we now look at our CIDP? Mombasa County, Kilifi County, Nairobi County, look at your CIDP and say, we need now to readjust so that we can be able to end this issue of unemployment. Mr. Speaker, it is no-brainer that gangs thrive as a surrogate for jobs offering income, protection, and purpose to idle youth. If you go to Kibera today, there are so many idle youth who are there. Of course, when a gang comes, it will thrive as a surrogate, offer protection, give them jobs, and they make money. So the idea, Mr. Speaker, is that we now need to look at our social position. Look at our families. We must mentor our youth. We must provide our youth with jobs to be able to end this unemployment. I bet you, Mr. Speaker, if one of us was unemployed here, and the only way for you to be able to make ends meet is to join a gang, I'm sure most of us here would have joined gangs. So instead of pointing a finger, let us look at the root cause of this problem. There's a lot of social economic marginalization of our youth. Mr. Speaker, if you look at towns like Kibera, if you go to along Wayaki Way, there are people who have migrated from Western Kenya to come and look for jobs here. Now it is
Senator Gataya. More fire.